Konnichiwa. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my show. This is the Taylor Nance podcast, and I'm here today to talk about my new career, my new future, and explain to you guys what I'm doing and get the word out there, how you can get involved, how you can make your life better, how you can make more money, how you can take wonderful products that have changed my life. I'll give you a little bit of a story about me, about how I came to this position. I had a terrible concussion. Well, let's go back even further. About 6 years ago, when the GLP business started, I was fascinated, not to lose weight, but I just knew the world would never be the same. I remember saying this to my friend on the boat one day, the world will never be the same now that women can lose weight like this. It will never, and it's true. It's what, a $40 million business and growing. So I did not get into this due to the GLP, but I knew that it was an interesting space. And I don't have a doctor background. I have a Wall Street background. I've been a stay-at-home mom for a little while, dying to go back to work. And then I had a concussion and I sought out NAD everywhere to help with the brain fog because it was terrible. And I took many products from many different companies. And then I found the company that is best for me that works. I'm now an affiliate for the company. And I'm here to promote myself, the company, and see if you guys want to join or just, be a client and try the products because they are amazing. I don't have any more brain fog. I'm at my ideal weight. I feel great. I look 10 years younger, and it's all due to these products, really. And they are healthy and they're good for you. They're in your body. I don't have to take antidepressants. I don't have to take sleep medicine. I'm almost off my Adderall. I don't know if I should say all that, but this is true. And they have wonderful products for lots of different ailments. But I'm here today to introduce Paddy McCracken, who started the company. And he can tell us a little bit about how it was founded and why it's great.
Well, thank you, Taylor, for having me on. And it's such a privilege and so exciting to really share the message of what we're doing with New Age. And really the blessing is truthfully working with affiliates and associates like yourself. That's really what makes our company so great is the ability to be able to open up networks, to be able to talk to people like that maybe we wouldn't have known each other, through a different life, but to be able to build a business, from the comfort of your home into multiple cities, states, and markets is really the power of what we have here. And so, hearing about your story, hearing about how you found out about peptides and NAD, really is inspiring because so many people like you and me are looking to feel better, look better, live better. I think it's always been said, if you feel good or if you look good, you feel good, and so these are products that, are not just supplements that, that you can buy over the counter anywhere. These are prescribed medications and it's based through a telehealth appointment and it's really from the comfort of your home, so there's privacy, there's the opportunity to kind of explore and see, what product might be best for you or what ailments or what issues you may have. Just to talk about my quick story, NAD was a product that really changed my world. I had been seeing it come up over and over and over again. But I really only ever saw it in an oral tablet, and then I started seeing it maybe as a drink. But that's what makes us so special is really our delivery mechanism. There's a lot of ways that you can take a product. You can ingest an oral medication. You can do an injection. You can do an IV. But there's only so many ways that it can work. And we have one of the best and more superior products that allow these products to work great for you within a number of seconds. So that's kind of how this was started. But New Age, really was a process of allowing people to get telehealth appointments, for these types of medications that are shipped to them from a 503A pharmacy. And so there's a lot of education around this. But what you really just want to understand is that hours and hours, months and months of work has gone into making sure we have the best suppliers, the best telehealth, and really just the best ingredients that are going into these medications that can be, again, prescribed directly for you. So,
which is so important because there's so many bad products on the market. Don't buy anything online, guys. Don't buy anything from a random Chinese company or something. Not that it won't maybe work, but this company is very well backed by science and doctors and legit, and Paddy knows his stuff. So that's why I got involved.
Yeah. It's exciting. It sounds probably like you. I've been taking supplements my whole life. I've always been, knock on wood, really healthy. I've not really ever been on a prescription other than something that I needed maybe for strep throat or something. So, when it came to medicine, when it came to science, when it came to supplementation, I've tried anything and everything. Everything from essential oils to tablets to you name it. But when it comes to something like this is not something that we have to hope and pray that it works. There is science behind this. And one of the reasons I love this as an opportunity for people, whether it's a part-time, spare time, or full-time opportunity, is that you don't need the medical background. You don't need the degree, and you don't need to be a salesperson. At the end of the day, the customer patient has to come through the process, and they have to qualify for these. And it's based on their height and their weight. If they've had any past issues or ailments, all of that's going to come up in private and secure medical intake form that is needed to fill out. But then when you actually meet with the doctor, or you ask questions, or sometimes you can even bypass the doctor, they see your reports, they see what you're looking for, and they're just going to prescribe it based on your BMI, your height, your weight, your body index. If you're looking to lose weight, you have to qualify for these products. You can't
like there's no way he and I would qualify, in which, we should not. That's important to know.
Yeah. And there's also just so many other benefits than just losing weight. It's just, that's what so many people are looking for, that help. And so another thing about this is it's not like we're selling a new flavor of protein this month, and it's really more based on how many calories I'm intaking and how much I'm actually working out. This is medical grade. I mean, this is applied pharmaceutical ingredients. This isn't over the counter. This is prescribed medication. And so the process is super simple. I mean, when people go to your website or whatnot, they're going to shop around. They're going to check out maybe what's best for them. And when they do that, they'll be able to see, again, how some of these products have worked in the past. But one thing you have to understand here in the United States is that over 40 million people have tried GLP medications. And so it's just now, getting into the forefront of, where do I get this? How do I get this?
And
if I can't qualify through insurance, these products are thousands of dollars a month. And so it's something that if I don't have insurance, if I can't qualify due to diabetic reasons or something, how do I afford something like this? And that's really where we come into play.
Okay. Now tell me about this microdosing with the GLPs. So I know I'm throwing this out there, but could you and I microdose on a GLP, like a GLP NAD B12 combination? Or no? Well,
it's all based on the doctor, and how they prescribe. Each doctor does have a standard, and so it just kind of depends on where your BMI is, and it really is a calculation. For those that use Chat GPT or other AI, you can type in, I am this height and this weight. What is my BMI? And it'll kick that BMI out, and you do have to qualify. So
and there's a lot of women, they want to lose that belly fat from stress, from kids, from getting older, from hormones. There's a lot of people that would like to just lose that extra 5 pounds. That's a problem for women. Not all women, some women. Yeah,
it is, and there's also other things that can work. It may not have to be a GLP. Maybe it is NAD.
Agree. NAD works for me. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. I believe in the body. I believe our bodies were created perfectly, and so if we give our body what it needs, I've always heard, you dig your grave with your teeth, and so if you eat like crap, if you put junk in, junk comes out. But if you're ingesting, if you're putting in good peptides that are naturally made within us, we're just supplementing that. We're increasing that, because as we do age, unfortunately, whether it's, hyaluronic acid or whether it's collagen or, just some other basic things our bodies create, as we age, those things break down. When you get into your later 20s, 30s, and 40s, your body isn't cranking out testosterone or, some of those hormones like it once was. And that's really where we come in. We are not necessarily replacing, but we're supplementing, some of those hormones, some of those peptides that, again, just make you feel better. And that's where I know NAD was so powerful for you. People ask me what
I look 10 years younger. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. People are like, did you get a facelift? And I did not get a facelift or Botox. It's really from these products. And I feel the best I've felt in years. So, and my brain works like it used to.
Taylor, that's awesome. Let me ask you, how long have you actually been taking NAD and some of the other products?
6 months now, consistently with you guys, 6 months. But I tried it a bunch of other places and it didn't work. I had some just weird side effects and it didn't do anything really. And within a month, I could tell. I tried them all over. I was doing IVs, different companies, because I wanted to do my research before I just signed up with the company. All over the place. I've tried probably like 10 different versions of it, and this is the only one that has really made a difference, a noticeable difference. And I mean, not overnight, but pretty quickly. When I went to see my facialist, my Botox girl, she was like, "Did you have something done that I don't know about?" So I mean, right then and there, and she's a friend of mine. She's like, "Did you have a facelift? Did you have a laser?" She was like, "Your skin's tighter, you're glowing," and she's now on it too.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, I think the products kind of sell themselves. I'm here to build a team, make everybody money, have fun. So far on my team, a couple of my best friends that are just total badass women, I mean, this is fun. They're doing it too. And they have different networks. They live all over the world, let's have fun with it. And why not make some extra cash?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of said, well, you said a couple of things that are so powerful. And so again, we never know, who's watching this and who's listening to this, but when I have the opportunity to share, and when I have the opportunity to educate or talk to someone on a platform like this, there's always one person out there that's looking for a solution, whether it's, for their health, their wellness, their longevity, or maybe it's their financial wellness, and so, I mean, we at New Age are really helping people on the medicinal side, as well as the financial side. And so, I mean, you mentioned it, some of your network, they're educated, they're producers, they're all over the country. They have networks all over the world. And at the end of the day, again, people want to feel good. They want to.
They do. They want to look good and feel good. I mean, women my age want to look good and feel good. That end of the story. They all do. I mean, all women do actually, and probably men too. Especially as we're aging. I mean, I don't want to age anymore. I want to biohack, basically.
Of course.
That's the plan here.
Well, that's. Like I said, I'm so honored that you're a part of this and that we've been able to connect, and, I've been able to share a little bit, but, from my aspect of this, I know you're just getting started, and, you're one of the first associates and affiliates of ours in the Southeast, or even in North Carolina specifically. So, I mean, you have the ability to obviously not just build in your backyard, but, expand all across the country. But kind of, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, how do you see yourself building this? Because I know you take care of your daughters. You're busy. So how do you do this?
Well, I'm a hustler. I have a lot of energy and I love to work, honestly, and I love to connect with people. I mean, calling my friends that are smart all over the world and seeing if they A, want to buy it, or B, want to hear about it, and I don't really feel like I'm selling, because everybody wants this anyway. Just reconnecting with people that I want to connect with. It's not work. It's fun. So to answer your question, I see it getting large and big fast. But growing at a sustainable rate. I don't want to make 100 phone calls every day, but, putting the hours in right away, because it is just starting and we are at the beginning, and that's a great place to be at a company like this. And I've never done anything with MLM, but being at the beginning of a company, learning everything from the start, all the different the things that, filling orders, just the little stuff that I wouldn't have known how to do if it was, 6 months in or whatever. So I'm loving it. I'm loving every part of it. And so far, I think I have 6 or 8 people on the team. Yeah. I mean, I just ordered today. It's just started.
Yeah. No, you're one of the fastest growing out there. And I mean, let me just touch on that, for those that are listening to this. And I think, there's been a few things that are thrown out, and I can just, add some color to it, because at the end of the day, we're all very used to hearing about products, whether it's through a podcast, whether it's through social media, whether it's through online advertising, print, radio, you name it. We're always being advertised to. And so, one of the things about this type of a business model is, people buy from those they know, like, and trust. And when you can have a great friend or confidant that has experienced breakthroughs, whether it's with their energy or their focus or their clarity, or just their overall body function. I mean, one of the reasons I love NAD is the mitochondrial function. It's repairing cellular energy. I mean, it's really doing some great things at the cellular level. That's why I feel so great. That's why you look great.
Same here. It's the inside
that's why this is working. But the beauty of a business like this is it is word of mouth. And so people really want to know, where do I find these? Where do I find legitimate active pharmaceutical ingredients that's not coming from China? It is coming from a US based pharmacy, that's state regulated, federally regulated, that is compliant. This is a serious business, and so the beauty of it is built through word of mouth. For those that have ever done direct sales, whether it's service based or product based, even jewelry based, there's so many ways of effectively promoting things. But the neat part about our business is you have to, again, qualify through a telehealth appointment with a nurse practitioner, a doctor.
Yes.
These are prescribed medications. So you're
Which
not
is what you want in a company. You don't want to be able to just buy everything. That's not safe.
Well, that, and it's not based on hype or on flavor or on, take this one product and you're going to lose all this weight. And oh, by the way, while you're taking this product, you need to only eat once a day and you need to work out 3 times a day. Like that's not
Can you tell?
really the product doing it. It's more of a calorie deficient
Yeah,
diet, where something like a GLP, I mean, these are medications. So, if I can quickly talk about just the
yeah,
process of how this works. I mean,
please.
we set up all of our associates and affiliates with a phone application that allows them to do split second marketing. So if you're talking to someone at Starbucks or at the girls'
Hmm.
volleyball game or at the swim meet and you bump into someone, you may not remember
Hmm.
what you said, but if you
Yeah,
grab their information, you texted them some information, when they get home and they review it and look at it, you're going to be notified of that. And so
yeah.
we provide all of our associates and affiliates with websites and with phone
Hmm.
apps that allow them to build this business wherever they are. You do
Exactly.
not have to be the
At my
medical.
daughter's party on Sunday, 3 people wanted to know all about it, and I just
Awesome.
sent them the
Yeah. So
website. Yeah.
yeah, so it's a neat process of there's a tremendous barrier of entry on our part
Hmm.
to have gotten all of this set up with the websites and the processing and the telehealth and the suppliers. But from an affiliate standpoint, the barrier of entry is very small.
Hmm.
You don't have to have a doctor's degree or
Hmm.
education. You don't have to set all this up. You don't have to put hundreds of thousands on the line for the processing and for the insurances and
Hmm.
all of this. I mean, for
Hmm.
literally $1,
For a
you can get
dollar.
set up with the phone app and your website that allows you to start making tremendous sales and tremendous income. Just I'll share this. I mean,
Yes, please
if
do.
you market one of our GLPs, you're making anywhere from $50 to $99 per month per order. So if you had 10, 20, 30 customers, how much could you be earning additionally? If you could
Hmm.
teach a few others how to do that same thing, where would you then be? What could you then be earning?
Hmm.
And that's really the power of affiliate, direct sales with multi-level commissions.
Hmm. It's all very exciting and all very new to me. So I'm learning everything from Patty and rolling with it. It's working. I mean, people are interested. So that's why we're doing this podcast. I did have a question, but it erased. It went in one ear, out the other.
Ask
I don't
whatever.
remember what it was. It was important, but now it's not. I don't know. Oh, shipping. How long will it take people to get products once we're really up and running?
Yeah, I mean,
Like a week, week, a
it's.
couple of days.
I mean, I could share my or I, in theory, it's supposed to be relatively quick. And so I
Mhm.
can walk you through that. Again, let's start at the beginning of the week. So
Yeah.
on Monday morning, you show up at Taylor's website, you see a GLP or a peptide or a blend of something that you want to use and experience and try. You purchase the product, you go through your medical intake forms, you get assigned to a provider and a doctor. That generally gets done within one day.
Mhm.
Then it ships over to the pharmacy, the 503A, that's compounding this medication specifically for you. It's your
Mhm.
formula. They have a day or two to figure that out.
Mhm.
It's actually usually about 4 days what they give
Mhm.
us for their operating procedures. But let's just call it a day or two,
Okay.
and then it's 2 days to ship. So I mean, you should have your product a custom prescribed medication. If it's our liposomals, it's
Mhm.
metered dose liquid liposomal under the tongue.
Mhm.
If you order it on a Monday, you should have it technically by Friday. But we are sharing, 7 to 10 business days just to
Yeah.
be safe because there are weekends and
Of course.
things.
Of course.
Um, but no, I mean, just think about that. I mean, even
Yeah.
just
When you
Amazon,
say
I ordered something the other
yeah,
day. It showed up in 3 or 4 days. You're getting a prescribed
you're getting it
medication,
customized, like
custom.
personalized for your body. So every single person will be different, that's incredible.
Yeah, showing
I do
up,
remember
showing
my
up to your
question.
day.
Talk to us about our products versus stuff that are not pharmaceutical grade products that are out there that are doing well and probably work a little bit. I mean, everyone sees them out there. What is the difference of between us and them?
Yeah, that's a great point, Taylor. I mean, all products generally do work a little bit,
Mhm.
and so it really comes down to the delivery. So I mentioned a few already before, but it really breaks down to a few categories. There's, oral medications. There are subcutaneous injections, or there's really an IV. So
Mhm.
it's kind of those three things. Whether you're taking or swallowing a tablet, the challenge is, does that tablet make it through that digestive tract? Does it make it through the
Mhm.
liver? Does it make it through your gastrointestinal, body? And so usually it breaks down. And so the bioavailability, is very, very small. So
Mhm.
if you're buying an NAD over the counter,
Mhm.
or you're buying it, at your local vitamin store, it'll work a little bit,
A little bit.
possibly, but
Mhm.
is it working to what you really want it to? So you can
Yeah.
feel a difference, you can just experience a difference?
Mhm.
Probably not. And so that's why you're paying for that prescribed medication that is going through the 503A, that is being watched and monitored and showing up to you. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the bioavailability and the delivery.
Yeah.
So, New Age carries, of course, the gold standard injections, because we all know injections work. Whether you put them into your arm, where you put them into your stomach, under the skin, whatever you're doing, those are going to work. And some injections work better than others, depending on if it's for recovery or body repair. But what I'm most excited about is the liposomals.
Yeah.
And so for those of us that don't know what liposomal means, maybe we've heard it before, but it's just a new technology, and it's a delivery mechanism. So instead of ingesting or an IV, this is a sublingual metered dose.
So not a pill.
No.
Yep, there you go.
So these show up. So if you ordered a 30-day supply, you'd get 30 of these vials. Mm-hmm. You pop off the top, you put it under your tongue, and you hold it for 30 to 90 seconds. Why our oral medication? Because there's other liquids on the market. There's sublinguals. There's products called submagma. The science has never shown that the nanometer, so the size of the molecule, the size of the medication, is generally starting at around 25,000 nanometers. Mm-hmm. Some products that we see on the market are about 12,500 in size. Okay. And so it's going to work a little bit. Okay. But again, the digestive tract's going to eat it up, your stomach acid. Mm-hmm. But these are not just liposomal, these are also nano. So the size has gone from 25,000 units down to under 200. Mm-hmm. So Taylor, it would be like, taking a large watermelon from your garden and reducing it down to the size of a grape, Okay. And so, you're literally reducing it by 100%. Mm-hmm. And that's why the liquid liposomal under the tongue is being absorbed under the tongue sublingually. And so, you're getting it in 30 to 90 seconds. The bioavailability is insanely good. It mimics the injection. And then when you swallow it, it still has the liposomal technology. So it's still bypassing through the gut, and you're just getting much better bioavailability. And so
tell us how you feel like immediately afterwards. Do you feel something like within an hour or seconds or minutes? How do you feel? Can you feel it?
Sometimes
in NAD specifically.
Yeah. So I'm on the liposomals now, 100%. But I started on injections, that's where all of us started. It just, taking 2 injections twice a week, it kind of started to get a little bit painful, it kind of became kind of a burden. But just like the injections, sometimes I feel something, sometimes I don't. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, what I know is that these are prescribed medications with applied pharmaceutical ingredients, and that it's working for me. And it's also working at a cellular level. So, are there days that I've taken this and, the brain fog goes away? I just crank out my to-do list. Yeah. I get stuff done. Yes, 100%. Yes. And do I credit to this? I certainly accredit a lot of it to this.
Yeah.
Taking something that is truly, again, I think repairing my body at the cellular level. Why wouldn't you have more energy?
Why wouldn't you want to take it? Focus? It's repairing my brain a lot.
Firing. Yes. So yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. What else do we need to talk about?
Well, for those that are hearing this for the very first time, the beauty of this is that we do have a lot of education. We're just getting started as a company. And so, we could be considered in that startup category. But the leadership and the experience behind this company, it's not just me. There's several people. There's field leaders. There's medical directors. There's some serious people behind this that have great experience in the sales, the marketing, as well as the pharmacy and medical side. Mm-hmm. And so our team of people that put this together is second to none. So that's one thing. Another thing is, if you're hearing this for the first time, you could be living in a very small market, literally a couple hundred to a couple thousand people in your town. But you now have the ability to be able to market and sell these products in every state that we're shipping into. Mm-hmm. And so that's powerful, so the level of entry is very low, for our affiliates. If you have a burning desire, if you're willing to work, you're willing to talk to people about this, mm-hmm. you're open to sharing, hey, maybe you've tried this, that, and the other for mm-hmm. weight loss. Have you looked at something like this? Mm-hmm. That's how we're going to drive this business. Mm-hmm. And so if you're getting started for the first time, get back to Taylor. She'll have the ability to connect us one-on-one. Mm-hmm. We can set up a game plan and talk on how we can help you start building some extra income and building a book of business. Because the one thing about where we're going with these products is once you're on them, it's very rare that you're going to get off of them.
Yeah.
Maybe with the GLP, once you've hit your desired weight loss, then you might start microdosing. And so you're going to maintain that weight loss. NAD is a product I'm never going to get off of.
I'm never going to get off of it.
So
I really don't take hardly any of my prescriptions anymore. It's great.
Exactly. So, that's the beauty of kind of where this is going. And like I said, we're just getting started. The barrier of entry is huge. Most people don't know where to find high quality peptides, pharmaceutical ingredients, the telehealth, and that's really what we serve.
That's why we're here. We're trying to tell you where to find us. So right. I guess we should, I don't know if we're going to get my phone number, my Instagram, to reach out to me.
Yeah. What is your Instagram? What's your social?
It's Taylor Nance.
Taylor Nance. TaylorNance.
TaylorNance. So just send me a message. I could give you my phone number, but my phone rings too much. I might not pick it up. It'd be best just to Instagram me.
Great.
Yeah. And I'm excited, you guys. Please hit me up with messages. The team is growing by the minute. So if you're interested, get involved now. It's a great way to make a lot of money or a little money or whatever you want to make out of it. I plan to make a lot of money and grow a big team. And my child is sitting over here, being my biggest supporter. She's like, Mommy, when are we getting that pool? When are we getting that tennis court? So I'm excited. I'm excited mostly because this is fun. These are great products. It's really it doesn't feel like selling to me. This is really just fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, Taylor,
making a difference in people's life.
I'll share this. I love doing businesses like this for someone like yourself, being able to see you working this business with your daughter. She's seeing mommy work right now and you're having fun on a podcast. But what kind of role model are you setting for your daughter and your daughters by showing up and going after and working? That's so much more powerful than
I totally agree with you.
See on anything else, and so that's what we do with this. You can build this here, there, everywhere. You don't need to know everything. We're here to educate.
I don't know everything at all. I don't know much at all, but he knows a lot, and I have lots of friends, and I can connect them, and just let it blast off. Yeah. So my team I have 8 people as of today right now. So, and it's launching today. So the sense of urgency is there, I would say. Get involved while the company is new and young. Right?
Well, we're all creatures of habit. We all like to be a part of something. We all like to be in the inner crowd, the cool gang. And this is something that, you can feel very good about what you're doing. You're helping people live better, feel better, look better, all of it. So I appreciate you having me on today. I'm so excited.
I appreciate you taking the time. You're very busy. Yeah. Thank you so much. So this will go live soon. All right. Bye. Thank you.